Hi, my name's Xellina, and if you've just lost your job and you're expecting a baby and you're about to panic, I'm here to help. So I know I may say it a little over cheery, but so I've been there and I've got some real action items that you can do that are going to help you get through this. I know it's scary and you might be freaking out and you're probably thinking, what the heck? Why would they let me go? I am so valuable and I thought I was safe. And let's put a pause on that for a minute. Let's stop, and I'm going to tell you some very real things, and then I'll tell you a little bit about my story on being through this twice. And let's get started, and I really hope this helps you. So first of all, before you sign anything, read it. Check through the details, find out how much severance you've gotten, when your benefits end, what COBRA looks like, especially if you're expecting a baby. One of the things you can negotiate is a dollar amount to cover COBRA until the baby arrives, especially if the baby's going to arrive like within the next 1 or 2 months. Above that, it may be really hard. Also, be prepared that if you can't negotiate the amount for COBRA, that you go ahead and keep paying COBRA so that you have your same benefits to get through until the baby arrives, at least until right after, that month that the baby arrives. What we did is we did like for a month after. So my husband got laid off about a month before. So we negotiated a month of COBRA, which would have been right around when she arrives, maybe just a month extra, and then we paid one extra month out of our pocket for COBRA just to make sure we had that that safety net until benefits kicked in from his next job. Get the details for COBRA, how it works, get the phone number for who to call, find out what HR person you can call if you have questions or problems with any of your benefits. But yeah, figure out kind of what they're offering you before you sign anything. And depending on how big the layoff is, you may have some room to negotiate. Be prepared that the answer may be no, but you don't know if you don't ask. The next thing is doing a financial assessment. Don't think too big, like how much money do I have? First thing is, can you pay bills for next month? So a lot of the ones I've seen, they do it kind of towards the end of the month for layoffs. So then, in theory, all your bills for, like, say, January are paid. So think you have the money to pay bills for February. And then once you know you have the bills for February, then that gives you the 4 weeks you need to find a job. Because the fastest, what used to be my husband's fastest when he lost a job was 4 weeks. It would usually take him 2 weeks to interview and get an offer, and then 2 weeks before he could start because of background checks and HR stuff. So realistically, if you really hustle, if everything falls into place in 4 weeks, you could be working again, which means you might have a little bit of a lag because you won't get paid for 2 to 4 weeks in the next job. So you really do need 2 months pay, but let's just worry about like the closest timelines, the closest bills, the closest things. I'll do another video on, so just kind of a little bit of a commercial. I want to do a free online course. I'm going to publish it on YouTube about budgeting, and I'll cover some of these topics, but that doesn't help you now. So right now, just worry about next month's bills, make sure you got that covered, and then you can revisit that later. Okay, moving on. Okay, I need you to be with me right now. I'm going to tell you something that's very woo-woo, and you're going to hate me, or you might hate me, so don't. We need to get your mindset worked out. We need to get you in a good place. You're probably feeling panicked, really upset, hurt feelings. So the first thing I need you to know You are valuable and you are important, and you will make it through this. It's just a job. And I know it's hard and it's scary and it hurts. For me, my feelings would be so hurt about it. Because it's like being dumped. It's like being broken up with. It's like, I pour all this time and effort into this relationship and you just kick me to the curb. I understand that, but we need to get you in the mindset that's going to carry you forward and get you through this. So figure out your self-pep talk. I can tell you how great and wonderful you are all day long, but you've got to be telling yourself that. You need to shut up that voice that says bad things to you. I'm not going to say those bad things. I'm not going to add to them. So tell that mean voice, hush. Not now. Later. Okay. So on mindset, start thinking about the job you want. Do you want the same exact job like the one you got? Do you want a better job? What are the things you're looking for? What kind of person do you want to work for? What kind of team do you want to be on? Start thinking those things, getting those things in your head, because this is going to help you zero in on the type of jobs you're going to apply to. Because you're not going to apply to everything. You're going to apply to jobs that you want, so that when they call, you can be excited, you could be all in, and you can be prepared to tell them how wonderful you're going to be in that job. Okay, so got to work on your mindset. Just give me a little pointers here before we move on to the next thing. The other thing you need to be kind of prepared for is you may have to take temporary work just to get in the door faster and start getting money until you find a permanent position. Just to veer off a little bit to my story. So we've had 2 layoffs. I have 2 toddlers. My son Joey was born in the summer of 2019. Evie was born in 2020, at the end of March 2021. July, around September in 2019, I was taking 12 weeks FMLA. In the middle of that, my FMLA time off, my company did a big layoff, and I got a call. I thought, they can't lay you off if you're on maternity leave. They can. I'm not going to go into the details, but I got that call and I was flipped out because they didn't offer maternity leave, so I wasn't getting full pay, and I had this, I'll do another video someday on the crappy maternity in America. But anyway, so I spent about 4 weeks, because we did have money to cover me during my 12 weeks off. So I spent about 4 weeks job hunting, and then I was able to spend the last 2 weeks of, so I did start work about a week later than I had planned to return to my company. So I did have a severance to put into savings, that's what I did, which came in handy later. But so I was able to start work with little disruption to our pay, because technically my benefits carried over till I returned from FMLA, and my layoff didn't happen till I returned. And then I forget where I'm going with this. Anyway, so was able to start work with very little disruption to our pay kind of cycles and the way we pay bills. When Evie was born, a month before she was born, so about 2 months before she was born, I quit my contract job because I was having complications in my pregnancy due to stress, and we needed to get my blood pressure down. So we had the money saved to be able to cover my pay, for me to be off work for a while. And then about 3 weeks later, Daniel got laid off. His company had said, we're doing great, we're going to do raises and bonuses this year because they had previously sent out that they weren't. Said, like the week before, did all this great thing on how great we are, how everything's fine. And a week later, my husband was laid off, totally blindsided. And it was really hard. It was hard to think that, why did you pick, us, the ones that are getting ready to have a baby with a young baby at home, and not somebody who's single? And that is, I'm so ashamed of myself for thinking that. And I don't think somebody else should have lost their job for him to keep his job. But it was just, those are some of the thoughts you think. You think some really ugly things when you're hurting. So for Daniel, I almost didn't believe him. I was just so kind of mad and ugly. And I can't remember. I used to remember the exact thing I said that was just kind of flipped it in my head, that everything, right now the saying that's been resonating with me is everything happens for good. So I just had to keep telling myself something better is on the way. Something good is going to come out of this, and something better is on the way. So within a couple of hours, I posted on LinkedIn, and he posted on LinkedIn, and we started getting colleagues, people we hadn't talked to in years, people we talked to recently, just people outpouring of love and support. One of the recruiters I had worked with recently was able to get Daniel a job. He started in 2 weeks. I mean, it was a company that really needed to fill a position that was really kind of critical at the time. He was able to start. He stayed at that position about 4 or 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks overall, because he did negotiate being able to take a week off the week after Evie was born to not work so that he could be home with me. And because of COVID, he was going to be working from home anyway. So, but he did have that first week to kind of really help me and, help with Joey. And Joey was still, we kept him in daycare, so that made a big difference with being able to care for Evie, be her primary, and do most of it on my own. And he was home, so he could hold her so I could go to the bathroom or take showers or little stuff. But anyway, I mean, magic. So I'm going to share our action plan and the steps and everything that we went through. So please stick with me. I really hope this can help you. And I'm kind of like frantic energy, because I just remember being in that frantic place of, we've got to do something now, and oh my God, we're going to die. And we weren't. Things were going to be fine. So I also want to help you get to a place of calm, because everything's going to work out. It may not feel like it. You may hit some road bumps, but you've got this. You really do. So here's a plan for action. So first thing, reach out to your network. So if you know somebody in another company that that they have openings, reach out to them, see if they know the hiring manager, see if they can put in a word directly. Start researching companies, so in your network, research companies that your friends work at to see if they have any job openings, because their recommendation can help get you past the automated system that filters everybody out, or even get you in contact with a hiring manager. Post on LinkedIn, let people know, hey, I just got laid off. Here's my situation. Any leads help, and you will be surprised. Also consider going to, before I used to want to stick to big companies because of the security. They had more money. Small companies hire faster. Something to consider. So LinkedIn, look for leads, update your job hunting status, update your profile. Don't be afraid to hire somebody to help you update your profile if you feel like your profile's a mess or just not isn't telling the right story about you. Because I used to think I was a good writer, and just in the last few years, it's like I couldn't make my resume shine the way I wanted, and I ended up getting a professional to do it. There's a couple of people I'm going to recommend to follow on LinkedIn. Robin Story. She does resumes, offers great advice, excellent posts. Follow her. She mostly works with like executives, but don't be afraid to reach out. Also, in your post, if you're looking for job leads, don't be afraid to tag people that have like have big networks to get you more visibility. Ask people to like and share. If you don't say it, they may not do it, but if you ask for it specifically, you'll get more people to do it. Another person to follow, Dr. Rochelle Parks Yancey, gives excellent advice on negotiating. She has a book. Daniel's working with her for his resume right now. Another person is Andrew La Civita. I will include their links down below for this video, but he's another good one for interviewing, points, tips. He's got a YouTube channel. Really, really good practical advice on how to interview, especially if you're like me and I'm really bad about talking to people I don't know because I get really nervous. Next step, after you've kind of reached out to your network and kind of put out the cry for attention, kind of reset your mind. Keep working on resetting your mindset. So it's going to hurt. You're going to grieve the loss of the job. Try to limit your pity party. Do 15-30 minutes that I can don't try to stuff down the feelings. Feel the feelings, feel the hurt, feel the sadness. Don't let it stop you. Don't let it defeat you. You know, be prepared to give yourself pep talks. You know, you deserve a great and wonderful job that you're happy doing. So another thing is to kind of, you know, depending on where your faith lies, is, I'm just going to put it this way, you know, pray for guidance. Pray to be guided to jobs that you will enjoy doing, that you can do your best at, and that you know, that are going to provide for your family, or just for yourself if you don't have a family. Pray for guidance to avoid scams. Be very diligent when you're getting in offers or things, or, you know, trust your gut. If it feels weird, keep asking questions, keep poking holes, make them prove that they're valid. Because I've seen some crazy posts on how elaborate some of these scams can be. So don't pay money to some place for getting a job. That should be a big, you know, flashing red sign. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. So last bit of advice before close this out. Sorry, this is running long. I try to keep these shorter. Plan your day. Kind of block your day. Like, you know, start the day, say 2 hours to do the job hunt stuff. Kind of time box it. Don't, you know, for your first few days, you might be having to spend more time focusing on it to get your resume and everything up to date. But try not to get too consumed to where you start feeling defeated. The other thing, take the time to either work on some personal development things that you wanted to do to kind of help pass the time but be productive, or work on your tech skills. You know, if there was a tech skill you always wanted to learn, like mine used to be Ruby, you know, take the time to learn that skill. Or also one other thing, depending on what your skill set is, there's a website called Fiverr. It's Fiverr, where depending on your skill set, you can sign up on there and take little contract jobs and get paid for things. I don't know how to explain it good right now, but check it out. Also, take time to spark joy is the phrase that I wrote down, but it's take time to do things you enjoy. I would avoid binge watching Netflix and that stuff because that's just like a time suck. Like if you are a crafty person or art person, draw, paint, do something fun, build Legos, but do something that makes you feel happy, and spend time with your family. Spend time with friends, reach out. Do stuff that, there's lots of things you can do that don't cost money, that are fun. Find those things to do to help keep your energy up and to keep you not distracted from the job hunt, but to not let you get so laser focused that you're just dragging yourself down. You're going to make it through this. You're going to do good. So I'm going to end there. My name is Xellina Whelan. This is my personal vlog. I felt inspired today to encourage others, anybody who's lost a job. And if you like this content, please like, share. Please share this with anybody you know that's lost a job and is stressed out. I was in the IT field. My husband's still in the IT field. And I hope everything I shared is relevant to everybody. But thanks. Thanks for listening this long, and I'll see you next time. Bye.